Oh, the Kurdistan region is an island of stability in a troubled region. It is probably the most pro-American place in the Middle East. And I say that I also include Israel, whether actually there's often been hostility toward American policies, but Kurdistan has always been pro-American. It participated in the liberation of Iraq in 2003. In all the intervening time, no American has died in Kurdistan as a result of hostile action. It is a place where American companies have invested. It was a partner in the fight against Daesh. Uh, Americans who travel to Kurdistan, and when I first went there, almost nobody had gone, but now there are tens of thousands of people who have gone, including soldiers, diplomats, journalists, business people, even some tourists. They're always impressed by the generosity and warmth of the Kurdish people. So, Kurdistan's popular. In the Congress, there's a Kurdish caucus. And one of the previous head of it was Michael Waltz, who was briefly Trump's first national security advisor. So there's a lot of pro-Kurdish sentiment in the U.S., a lot of affection for Kurdistan. And of course, the U.S. has been an ally of Kurdistan. It started protecting Kurdistan in 1991 with the Safe Area. It was an ally in the liberation of Iraq. I have to say, America hasn't always been the most reliable ally, but it is an ally. Well, certainly it's the security sector. And again, that goes back to and humanitarian sector back to 1991 when the U.S. intervened to prevent Saddam's forces from taking over the Kurdistan region after the failed uprising, created the safe area. It was again a common fight to liberate Iraq. It was the common fight against Daesh when the Iraqi army just collapsed. So that the security is there, humanitarian is there. Of course, increasingly their business ties, particularly in the oil sector, educational ties. I'm on the board of the American University of Kurdistan, which one of two American universities in the Kurdistan region. Of course, the Prime Minister is the chairman of the board. There's the American University of Iraq in Sulaymaniyah, where the former president of Iraq, Barham Saleh, is the chairman of the board. So there are a lot of commonalities between the Kurdistan region and the United States. And I think most Americans recognize that Kurdistan is a much more reliable ally than Iraq. Uh, yeah, so. Well, the consulate, I think, is the biggest consulate in the world, and it was clearly designed so it could be an embassy someday. And I think most Americans would like to see an independent Kurdistan in the territory of Iraq, where Kurdistan region now is. I think that it will be a very big agenda. Um, uh, So on the security side, uh, the Trump administration is likely have discussions about Iraq's relations with Iran. It will look to Kurdistan as an ally to reduce Iranian influence in Iraq. Certainly, there'll be discussion about the changes in Syria and the fact that Trump just ended sanctions on Syria, although actually can't end many of them. Um, I imagine that there'll be a lot of discussion about Rojava and its future. Certainly, one of the issues that I would think would come up, and which I would urge the Prime Minister to raise, is that although Trump asked Shara to take over the ISIS prisoners and the women and children in the prison camps, I don't think it's in the interest of the United States or Kurdistan for these to be turned over to a regime headed by somebody who was a part of ISIS and Al Qaeda, even if he's changed. But there are many that are still sympathetic to ISIS and Al Qaeda and the new administration in Syria. And so I think it would be very unreliable to turn the prisoners over to that regime. Although Trump, I don't think he had thought it through very much. That was one of the subjects of discussion. So I imagine that this is something that will come up. Well, certainly it's a very good time to be going to Washington and meeting with American officials. It's coming off of Trump's visit, as you point out, to Saudi Arabia, to the Emirates, and to Qatar. That visit was hugely about getting those countries to invest in the United States and commercial deals, arms deals. There was the element of diplomacy where Trump met with the new president, interim president of Syria, al-Shara, which was something a bit surprising. But I think Trump basically does what the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia, MBS, asks him to do. I don't think these are the relationship between Kurdistan and the United States is not going to be so much on economic issues. Obviously, they're not going to be looking for Kurdistan to invest in the U.S. They will want to resolve the issue of the export of oil from the Kurdistan region because they would like to increase global oil supplies. Some of the companies are American. Those companies would like to be paid. So that certainly will be an important subject of discussion.